Okay, so I had a bit of a network issue over here, but it's been resolved. So let's continue. Now I'm expecting them to draw to 96.23, and then once we get there, maybe a quick rejection below that low. So that will cause euro to also trade potentially to 1.2, think 1.2 or 1.198 level, and then maybe price will reject from there as well. British pound, so I'm also expecting that to take out 1.37, 1.37, that high, so 1.38, roughly. That also gave a nice auto block here yesterday, and they've used that to push above. Now let's take this one out, and we're aiming for 1.37897. Okay. Euro pound. I think yesterday I spoke about the idea that price might reject from here and attack 0.86. So I still stand with that. I'm expecting them to run for that low. Let me see on the 1 hour time frame. Yep. So yesterday I did map out the Asian session high that we wanted them to run for this Asian session high. I think same thing with today. They did not run the Asian session high, so tomorrow or even today, New York session, I would like to see them run the Asian session high, and after running the Asian session high, baby, that is when you can look for an auto block or a fair value gap to reject and go down. Okay, so something similar but not this mess, something clean, as in let me see if I can find an example. Okay, so something like this, right? Asian session high, we run it and then a clean rejection. That is what you're looking for, and then you can use that for a potential setup to go for 0.86445. Gold, we are rejecting. I think yesterday we spoke about potentially price trading back into that fair value gap on the H4 and then rejecting. So 450 or 555 is the draw on liquidity. So look for continuation to the upside on gold. I think yesterday's candle is a down candle, so maybe they might be reaccumulating now. Again, it's a little bit tricky because of the rate announcement coming in on tomorrow. Gold is also something that can be affected, so if you are trading gold, be extremely careful, extremely careful with gold. If I were you, I'll be done by either this New York session. If you have a long term, as in you've taken a position already, then maybe hold on to it with your stop loss at break even. If you're going to trade today, then you're looking for just a day trade. You're gonna get in and then you get out, without expecting something beyond today. If you want to keep, maybe for, I don't know, maybe the rate announcement to cause price to shoot in your direction, definitely you can do that. If you get an entry, place your stop loss nicely. When price moves away, put your stop loss at break even. Then tomorrow you probably will leave it. Whatever happens, happens. If the news comes out and it shoots in your direction, great. If it doesn't, then minimum you get stopped out at break even. Okay. Crude oil, now my favorite. This is the one that I'm interested in. I think it has a great potential for upside movement. This is now beginning its seasonal move, so that's the one that I'm personally trading, and I'm gonna be looking out for the rate announcement to push it up. Now it doesn't really matter. It's not really 100% correlated with the dollar index, so it doesn't matter whether the rate announcement comes in or not. Euro, pound, gold, they are directly euro and pound is almost 98% correlated, so it's basically the opposite of dollar. Pound is, I think the last time I checked, about 70%. Okay, and then gold is roughly 60 or 70 as well, so they do have direct correlation with the dollar index. Crude oil doesn't, right? It does move, but it is not directly correlated with the dollar index. So even if dollar goes up or down, it does not really affect the crude oil much. So based on the seasonal move that I'm expecting on crude oil, I'm happy to hold on to, a swing trade on the crude oil to go to 66.43. First target is the 62.92. Okay, so all eyes on crude oil. I think I gave you where they were likely going to form a low if in case they go down, which was this fair value gap over here. Okay, so the run below the low, the break, so essentially that was roughly 50%, right? And it didn't get to OT, which it doesn't need to. And on the daily we also had an auto block here, so price basically took out the previous day low, which is Monday's low, and then rejecting, and then the rejection, we're breaking above the Asian session high. We took out the Asian session low. Now this is why I love crude oil. Okay, you can see how nicely took out the Asian session low and then immediately rejected. That's how maybe you're gonna start looking at crude oil, because it does that constantly, at least twice or 3 times a week, depending on the direction that price is going. So if you're going up, it will take out the low and then go up. If you're going down, it will take out the high and then go down, right? Okay, now ES. So ES yesterday, I was expecting them to reject the breaker. It didn't, and now they are back above that previous month high that price was supposed to be rejecting. Now usually the month needs to end first before we can confirm it's a run above previous month high and then the break of structure. Sometimes you can basically anticipate that as they've gone below the low, then it's not going to continue, but here's the case. But at the same time, we have not finished the month, so I'm not really convinced. But from what is currently being shown, the fact that the breaker did not hold means that maybe there's a likelihood that they might make a new high. with tomorrow's news, which I can't 100% confirm, but if I was to obviously trade compulsory, like if I have to, then I will gamble to the upside for price to go and take out the upside. Why? Because price managed to trade above the breaker and there is no fair value gap. The order block is not the best in the world, so based on that I would look for a move to the upside. Okay, so that is that for that is that for ES. Let's go to the Australian dollar. So Australian dollar has also made a run above the weekly order block, which again, very, very, very extreme. Okay, this is too quick to the upside within a short period of time. Okay, so I think I'm on the verge to say that we might get a rejection, but I always go with a confirmation. So let's wait for the confirmation. That's also gonna come in based on how rate announcement is gonna trade tomorrow. So I'm not gonna say much about the Australian dollar. We've made a new high, which we haven't in the last almost 2 years. Okay, now this is the first high that we've made in the last 2 years, because we've always been making lower lows. Okay, we've never made a high since 23. We've constantly made lower lows, especially the last 4 years. We've not made a new high. This will be the first new high, which again, we've gone too quick in a short period of time. So let's see what the rate announcement will bring tomorrow. Okay, I don't recommend to buy this. I don't at all. I don't recommend it. If you are going to buy, maybe wait for today to close bullish and then tomorrow London or during the Asian session buy and get something out before the rate announcement on Wednesday. I mean in the evening. Okay, then dollar yen. I think dollar yen, I already gave you what I was expecting, that they were going to attack 152.82 and then trade into the fair value gap on the daily over here, and it's on its way. I think this morning they gave a nice trade entry here, which is this swing high and then pull back into it. Nice one. This is what I was talking about. So Asian session high, run, quick rejection, then you look for a trade. So I think the entry came in at exactly 10 o'clock candle, the next H4 candle, and then price is heading for that. So if you are in, look for 152.82 as a draw on liquidity. Okay, now let's move on to the last part of our analysis, which is Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin, we are still expecting lower prices. Let me move on to the daily. So yesterday's candle became an up candle, which has now created a fair value gap. So I'm expecting, as we can see, a rejection to continue going lower. We've taken out yesterday's high. We've already rejected So I'm expecting them to continue going down. Nothing has really changed. As a matter of fact, we are still expecting the 83,846, and then 80,524. Ethereum, same thing. Previous days high been taken. All these up candles should reject price and continue going down. 2,620 is our target. Solana came very close, very close. Now has engineered equal low. Nice one. 116.82. We're gonna go for that. Okay. No fan hype. Now this one has surprised me because I wasn't expecting them to move up, but it's understandable why, because we are in OTE. So I was expecting them to at least trade with the weakness in the Bitcoin. I was expecting them to continue going down to the breaker, roughly somewhere here, but the fair value gap at 618, this 70.5 is now kind of rejecting price. Now it does not really change the narrative. The only change that is gonna bring is maybe for now a sideways market with weakness in the Bitcoin market. Okay, so how this week is gonna close is gonna be important to what is gonna happen on hype. This is probably going to be similar to the Chachki, because it has confirmed a swing on a monthly, so it's not gonna go down. Now if this week closes bullish on the weekly, okay, if this week closes bullish on the weekly, that might change not bullishness, but the continuation to the downside to maybe a sideways market. That might be the case. That might be the case, because if Bitcoin continues to go down, this one might not, and it might just trade back inside the range. So if it does confirm is going, Bitcoin confirming is going down, this one will come back into a pullback, because now we might have this one as a breaker, and then we might have this one as an auto block here, and then price will come back if we continue with the weekly candle. If the week, because it's still early, today is Tuesday, if the week confirms that swing here, then that is what might end up happening, but it's yet to be seen. And then Chachki, nothing has really happened much, so nothing to report. We are still expecting that low. And then finally the AX16Z, nothing has happened. Price is still stuck in that fair value gap, so no update. I'll update when something really significantly happens, then I'll update. Okay, so the moral of the story is we will not be doing much until after the rate announcement. The only thing that I recommend is crude oil. That's my only recommendation. And then maybe Euro pound. Even with that, I'm not really a big fan. my recommendation is crude oil, because it's at a very low price and it's now about to go up. Okay. All right, so that is all I have for you for today. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you same time tomorrow for another session. Until then, have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.